Hello, everybody. Happy Easter weekend. Enjoy church, by the way. I hope you guys are going to church. That's why I'm giving you these videos early. So you can get ready to go to church. But tonight in KZN, we're going to our parents' homes to clean up because the storms zisigilile and see if our neighbors are okay and all of that. But Nkulunkulu would understand because we think the rain, we think he brought the rain, so he understands if we are not at church this Easter weekend. Anyway, guys, igama lami nguTando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasifunde iy'ncwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese siza la sizokhuluma ngazo lezo y'ndaba. Sixoxela laba phela abangenasikhathi sokufunda incwadi nalaba nje abasuke beyinqenela nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi, bese siza la sokwenza ama-recaps ama-reviews, siphinde futhi sikhulume nga-any other issues avukayo uma ngabe ama-shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Namhlanje we are doing Real Housewives of Durban. I think it's episode 12, Real Housewives of Durban season 2, episode 12. Guys, we've been waiting for this episode. Part of me has been waiting for this episode, but part of me knew that it was going to be disappointed because either way, whether Jojo was right or wrong, or Umabus was right or wrong, either way, I knew it was just going to have a disappointing ending. Anyway, guys, just from today's episode, first, I'm over Jojo, like I said in the other video. Two, I'm very disappointed in Londi. Ulondo disappointed in this episode, but we'll talk about it in detail. Mabusi, sorry girl, but we still want you next season, whether bayafuna or abafuni. In fact, mina ngifuna baphambanise bakhiphe uJojo bafake wena. And then uNonku, I'm proud of her, but then I'm like, girl. Kunama questions now, but there are parts when I'm really proud of her. Anyway, these women, guys, don't want to have fun. Something always comes up, but I do feel like a lot of the things that came up this particular trip was because of the producers doing, and we've heard from housewives, you guys, even when they're on the trip, when they're being interviewed, they will say it's a name, not these particular housewives, but saying franchise. They will say, because sometimes when you take a trip, they will come to you, the producer, and say, guys, the trip is becoming boring because they feel like they're not getting content, because they don't want to see people who are always happy on the episode. They will come to you and say, guys, your trip is becoming really boring. Can you talk about a particular issue? Because they know that issue is going to prompt a conflict and then content. So I do feel like in this particular episode there was a lot of producer prompting things to be discussed, because some things were talked about like overly discussed, and I feel like it was them. They just wanted to get that that content, but we can't always just blame the producers, because as much as they will tell you to do something, you are not forced to do it. And our reactions are how you react to whatever happens or to whatever that they talk to you about, is still you. You know what I mean? So you can still, number one, you can still refuse to talk about a certain issue and say, no, I'm not comfortable talking about that issue. Or you can talk about it, but you have to apply now your own maturity in handling a certain situation. So when things like this happen, it's not all producers' fault, but we know what a lot of the things they prompt certain conversations to take place. So I just want us to keep that in mind when we review today's episode. Fine. Last week when we ended, it was the casino night. Remember, Jojo was crying. I'm over Jojo's tears. She was crying because her friend had just betrayed her. I don't know why she didn't pour a drink at her, this particular friend. I don't know why she didn't tell this particular friend to shut up, but I suspect it's because she's scared of her. She's scared of people who are rich. She's scared of people who are rich, just like her. But anyways, yes, so Jojo is crying and he goes to speak to her, and she says she feels betrayed. I understand why she feels betrayed, but I'm not feeling sorry for her at that point because of what she did at the end of this episode. So Jojo is saying that was her business. We shouldn't get into it. But it's like, I don't understand. Why would you dig the information if you think it's not your business? You know, you dug the information according to what you said. We all know that there's a possibility that it was dug up by the producers. But let's just take it, we take what she says. You dug up the information. You ask your husband to speak to whoever that he spoke to find the information. Now, why are you upset that that information has come out? Now, why are you saying that it's not really your business? And it's like, no, it is our business. She's hanging out with us, and so we have to know what's happening. She goes on, I trusted, honestly, guys. I feel like Jojo reminds me of like a 2 year old, not even like five, like 2 year old. Yeah, I trusted you. I trusted you. When admits, yes, she did betray the friendship, but she felt like she didn't have a choice because she wanted to find the truth. And she feels that finding a truth about Ula Chongo is for the greater good. It's for the greater good. You want to know about my personal life for your good. You know, I know. I like how they're doing it. It's not because in Sunday, no, it's for everybody's, you know. Nobody's going to get hurt by existence or non existence, come Mr. Petal, but you still do it for the greater good. I don't understand any in that sense. Guys, we do want to know whether Mr. Petal exists or not because obviously Ula Kongo introduced the Mr. Petal to the show. We do want to know, does Mr. Petal exist? But at the same time, I don't understand how they are so pressed on it when we have so many other things that we don't know about them, guys. We don't know a lot about Annie herself. We don't know a lot about Annie herself. You know, is your husband faithful right now? We also want to ask those questions, you know, that she doesn't want people to ask. She's offended when people ask those questions, yet she wants all of the details when it comes to Petal. That's what I don't understand. Us as viewers wanting to know, I understand, because we want to know about Ula Kongo, Mr. Petal. We want to know if it's really over between her and the former president. But we also want to know about you, Annie. How is it going at home with your husband? You know, do you have a family? When they're saying they've never seen like Tonko's family, have we seen Annie's family besides the husband? No, you know. So I don't understand why it bothers them so much. Ugutula Tonko is not sharing everything when they themselves are not sharing everything. That is just my issue when it comes to that, you guys. Let me just fix this. So they hugged, just hug, fake hug between Annie and Jojo. Honestly, Jojo, she could have said so much when it comes to Annie and the way that she betrayed her, but she didn't. Which makes me feel like, really, honestly, her issues with Mabuse is because I'm Delela. Because when she's like this with the other women, she doesn't confront them the way that she can. Maybe and we've seen that even with the London. Okay, so the next scene, I guess they were done with the casino nights. The next scene, it was them at they say it's a beach day. They are at the Valley of the Waves, guys. That place just looks like just fun, you know. You just go there to have fun. Obviously, you have to see the outfits, you guys. I thought that Nonko's outfits was like the best. I was like, yes, girl. You, I wear more and that black and white was it the bikini and the and the cover up as well. It was She was looking really hot. And then I like that Nonko is not thin, but she still just goes for it. Listen, guys, as you grow older, mangebheshi ukuthi nginomkhaba, nginezibhetshe, cellulite. Yay, I do wear my I do wear my swimsuits, and I don't really make it a point to cover up because I'm going to the beach. And I wish I had done that even when I was young. I think I covered more when I was younger than I cover now when I go to the beach because, guys, like, we need to live a little. I loved Mabusi's outfits as well. I loved the reason for me I really loved them is because they don't have like that thin body, but they still dress very well. I liked Mabusi's swim outfits, and Sorisha looked good as well, and any who's that? And London London always looks good anyway. But I thought the best was Unonku, and at this point, Ula Konko hadn't come. And then comes Umakomalo with that green outfit. Hi, well, guys. And then everyone is like, huh, are we going to the safari or something? Yes, last week when they showed her in that, because she was even wearing it, because I need to. I thought it was a name. I thought what do you call that outfit at Kogamandia, the traditional dress? Is it sari? Ngenza ukuthi ngiyapeta. Isari noma isori or yini. I thought because maybe usorisha had organized something where they had to dress in traditional Indian outfits, because bengibone kancane. It turns out they're at the beach, you guys. And I'm like, umakhumalo. Honestly, that was a nice outfit, just not for the day, not for what they were doing. Mhlampe if mhlampe beyimhlophe or mhlampe it was like pinkish or maybe like blue. Yeah, when I love my colors, but it was like green and gold. Everyone just didn't understand why they were wearing that. And Ulond is like, "Hi, Bokela, sike Dubai lana." She did look like she's in she's in Dubai. Her explanation of why she was just like she doesn't like to show her body, I do feel like Loma Kumalo, and it's not wrong or anything, you guys, but I do feel like Uma Kumalo, she was instructed probably by her husband, "Ungangihlazi-ke lapha, ungagqoki noma yini," like the other women did do and whatever, because we know that he does that. Uthando lwesithembu akafuni bagqoke ama-tights, ama-leggings, akafuni bagqoke ama-swimsuits mabebi. Imagine nje being limited, uye beach kodwa kuthiwa don't wear don't wear a swimsuit to the beach. So I think she's limited by that. She did say, she doesn't like showing her body, but we did have that legging issue. Where she was wearing a shiny legging that almost eluded to it eluded to her body. It wasn't showing her body, but my kanyilanga it almost looked like uzobona everything, and umseleko had a problem with that outfit. But that's what she said. You guys didn't like showing her body. I think Uma Kumalo really went to the valley not thinking she was going to participate much. I think she just thought, I'm just going to sit there, sip my drink, and watch the other ladies have fun in the water. But later on, I mean, when people are having fun, now you want to join in. Now you don't have a swimsuit on, and she had to get in the water with with the outfits. Yeah, okay. She said, her intention was just to look good whole day. And let's talk about the trip here. There was organized by you, Lord Dillard, and Lord is not heavy with you guys. Now, why are you comparing this to my trip? Obviously, trip Kaeni is much better than Negalon Dillard, and it's much more organized. I think that was a weakness Galondi London when she organized that trip. It wasn't very organized. And last we are figure late. She looked nice, you guys. I wish I could get like maybe I'll look on Instagram. I wish I could get like sometimes maybe episode and you see the outfits. Masabezi shutile mona individually. You get to see really like the beauty of the outfits. I didn't see it. I really liked it, but I didn't really see what was going on here. And the begune at the party learning at Tiamboza, but she looked nice at a distance. But I wish I could just see it katlenayo. And the other ladies thought she was hot too, so she comes late to the meeting here beach. I guess she was dealing with a lot, especially because she wasn't happy in a casino night. When she left, she wasn't happy. She wasn't looking happy at all. Cause I'm starting with and then they go on tubes. Yeah, they go on tubes and then they go on the slides. And they were going like 2 by 2, all of them. Uma Kumalo, Uma Busi, no. So said they say she's scared of heights. And then Umakumalo obviously she can't get in. She wants to look cute whole day. Umabusi, they didn't say the reason why she wasn't doing the slides. And so they got on the slides. Nonku, who was it Nonku with Georgia? So Nonku nezinqa enkulu, like they always say ukuthi Nonku no londi babangizinqa banezinqa enkulu. So when they were getting in, you're not supposed to have your bum touch the bottom of the thing, and then her bum, they got stuck. It wouldn't move. It was just a funny scene. And Londi went with Ulasi I think all on the must be they decided to swap it. The one who has bigger bum must go in front because the other time Unuko was behind. So it sounds like fun. And then they go to the lazy river. They all go get into tubes. And the thing about then Makumalo wanted to join, guys, wanted to join. So obviously she had to get in with her green outfits. And sorry, she was like, yeah, ne? I don't think this outfit is suitable for the thing for for the lazy river. But they get in. But that's a thing about Makuma. I think because you guys, she follows Usorisha a lot. Whether you guys like it or not, I know Makuma, sometimes we talk about these things about her, but watch it. Because she came there thinking she's not going to get in the water. And then Usorisha must say again and she wants to go. I did feel like, does she really want to go? Or it's because now she's gonna be uzobehleli phansi yedwa while her show mother wakhe wakwi-show phela uSorisha is going, you know. And then she ended up having to go to Amanzi. Yeah, it was a funny scene because amanzi ayabathela umabusi uphuma ama-eyelashes and they all laughed about it. And then umakhumalo yena kwaphuma iweave and she just took the weave wayicinga lapha ngaphandle. It was just all fun, guys. It really was all fun. And uJojo always takes the opportunity to shade uLokhuzana uMabusi, and she's like, yeah, you shouldn't wear stick-ons. You must wear the individuals when it comes to eyelashes. Whatever, girl. Whatever. Um Okay, so then the next one, they just relaxed and stuff. It's like I sit down after they go into the lazy river. They're still there at the water park, and so they're sitting there and they're relaxing. And then Annie brings up in the Bagalasi yet again, and she said she wants to. I guess she wanted to address it in front of the group, and they had just had fun, you guys. She just went and spoiled and just spoiled their event. Anyway, she says she wants to understand more about Upetal. Alasi is like, what do you want to know? They ask her, what you the one that brought him up in? She's like, I didn't bring Mr. Petal up. The flowers came at George because they were saying she brought him up at George's house. And then Ulasi says she's so confused. And then like, you are confused about my life. It's because you need a life, you know. How are you confused about that? A girl, and we are also confused about your life. We really are, you know. Just like you are confused about Lassie's life, we are confused about yours because nobody has that much time to dedicate on somebody else's life when their life is perfect. So the more that she does that, the more I'm wondering about her life. Something is going on with any to want to move the focus because she just doesn't want us to just look. Masithi siyabuka again, sithi siyabuka again. I feel like that. So what Ulasi ended up saying was that yeah, and no Petal, they're just they're friends, getting to know each other, whatever. Now London is like, yeah, she's confused now because Ulasi mabekhuluma naye. She has spoken about Ulona as in they're dating, and also she's spoken about meeting her in-laws, and so now she's confused as to who Mr. Petal is. She's starting to get confused. Um, and then Ulasi just decides because she asked them, what do you want to know? They said they want to know what's going on with Mr. Petal. She answered, he is my friend. And then after that, they were not satisfied, so she just gets on the phone, Abaziba. Then Unonku brings in indaba yokuthi ke nayo there's something that she wants to bring up. Guys, like I cannot talk enough about how much Unonku understands the assignment when it comes to Real Housewives. She understands the assignment. It's the same with my boss. As much as people say we are Papa my boss because people feel like she's not part of the show, guys. When someone is a friend of the show, they are a cast member. They are just not a permanent cast member. It's like having a contract to work in or figure now and then. They are still the employees. Their contract is just different from yours. So she has every right to ask questions too. She has every right to want to hang out with the people if she wants to. My boss. So I feel like those two really understand the assignment when it comes to Real Housewives, like being on the show like that. And Ulona, Unonku will find a way to create content. And the content that she will create will not be about the other person. It will be about her. She will talk about her own issue. I really like that about her, guys. I really like that about Unonku. So then she wants to bring something up. She says she's been going through a lot. She's been going through anxiety. And in fact, she has, did she say anxiety pills? Yes. She said that she's been taking anxiety pills just to go to bed and stuff. So she admits, she's like, guys, I might have been in denial about my drinking. I might have been in denial. So it's something that I feel like I need to have a look at, the drinking issue. And she says the reason that she didn't like that conversation is because she felt like she's being a failure. Here she is, she's a mom, and she's feeling overwhelmed. I like that she was very vulnerable, and she's vulnerable to people that might use that information against her in the future. But she understands I'm on the show here. People have to know what's going on with me, and people have to be able to relate to what I'm going through. And guys, a lot of us can relate to that. Coming off COVID, there's a lot of people that have talked about being depressed or having anxiety and just mental health as a whole. So I think really, honestly, people are going to be able to relate to Nonko because of this. And worst of all, it's in KZN, we're going through something right now. So we are able to relate with even abantu who are on TV, who are rich or whatever, they go through stuff just like we go through stuff. Nazi, it's just normal human beings. Ulondi gets a little bit like emotional. Anyway, all of them, I think most of them were crying. Yes. I think Umabusi and Umakumalo were not. By the way, you guys, I think what's and honestly, Umabusi Nomakumal, when they talked and they settled things, they really did. I think Umakumalo a little bit, she's holding on to it because she keeps making comments about what Umabusi said or what Umabusi was asking. But I really think if she could just let go of that and be like she said, Umabusi, you know what, girl, let's just start over. So if she would really just be like, you know what, I'm starting over with Umabusi, there could be really a good friendship. And them coming together also might create better chances for them to come back to the show next season. So I like that they were going along this time, but I hated that they were bringing it up. But I thought what she Umakumalo felt like, because there's a part where they talk up to when the others were going on the tubes, they talk about their misunderstanding with the story. They're just explaining, I didn't like what she said about the private jet, and then Mabuse is explaining, no, she just got caught up in that mixy private jet. And then Ulondi calls Unonko to the side because she really was getting emotional. Ulondi was wondering, what's happening, girl? Because we don't know anything about you. So even when you carry, we're like, what Ukalilan? you know? But it turns out that she has had her sister passed. It made me feel like it might have been, she might have maybe taken her own life. She didn't say, but the things that she said she lost her sister. She was saying this to Nonko there on at the side. This was a mature scene, guys. It really was a mature scene, and it didn't feel to me that it was prompted. But if they're really good, these producers, they might have. But it didn't feel like to me like it was prompted. I felt like tears Zigalondi were real. I don't know how you feel about it, but I did feel like they were real. So she's talking to Nonku and she's saying, you know what, I lost my sister. So when you are talking like this, like it makes me think of her. And one of the questions I had when my sister passed was, why didn't she say anything? Why didn't she say anything? So now I'm here in this friendship where you are struggling you are struggling with the same thing that my sister was struggling with, because apparently she struggled with alcohol problems as well. Here I am. It's almost like you're getting another chance to help somebody. Now, she says she doesn't want to feel like she's not listening to her castmates because she felt with her sister she wishes she would have spoken to her before she passed, which is what made me feel like maybe it was somebody that took her own life. Then she apologized to Noguno. I want to apologize for coming at you like that, like for being in your face about it. Okay, all but say apologize. Silly. Nongo is very forgiving, you guys. She is. She really is. I think that's why now she expects good even they say better because Pelu Nongo se vele she says whatever, she does whatever. Bese beyamdinelwa, you know. I think that's why she almost expects good abantu will be as forgiving as her. Now you might say MSAP, but it's like kuba nzima kubona ukuthi benze kanjalo. I don't think that I would have forgiven Jojo so easily from like she did in the last episode, and now she's forgiving Londi London. So I think it's a good trait for her. And and then she talks about the fact that she has an issue with Ulasi. This is what disappointed me with Londi London because she's talking to Ununko now, whom she knows very well, which she doesn't necessarily understand or get along that well with Ulokuzan Ulasi, and she talks about how confused she is about Ulasi and the whole thing Mr. Peter. This is why I'm disappointed at Lonely London because if you are building a friendship with somebody, you guys, you are building a friendship with somebody, and the person thinks that out of everybody, you are one of the closest to her, and she is talking to us about the fact that they talk on the phone for an hour or two sometimes on the phone. Why would you not have the time in that 2 hour phone call? Why would you not have the time to say, girl, listen, I've got you. You are my friend. I've got you. I've got your back. But listen, this story is not adding up without the cameras because it sounds like they do speak for very long on the phone without the cameras because apparently Ula really thought they were friends with Ulond, and now she's discovering that they're not. I would do that to my friend. Listen, you're my friend, I've got you, whether this thing exists or not, but just tell me the truth. This is what is happening here. People are having questions. As a friend, I want to have your back, but right now I can't because even myself, I don't understand. Does Mr. Petal exist? If he doesn't, just tell me so that, when I go to defend you to these friends, I know, at least as a friend, I know what's happening. And I do feel like Umabusi does know what's happening, you guys, but she will not tell anybody because she is a loyal friend to Ulasi. And then Ulond didn't do that. There's no record of her doing that. Instead, she's speaking to these people that she knows don't necessarily like her friend, but she's talking about her friend. That's the part that disappointed me about Londilana. Have a conversation with your friend outside of the show to say, listen, clarify to me so that when they ask questions, I can clarify for you because I am your friend. Or just tell me the truth, and then mina ngizobona ukuthi mangabe sebefikile laba, how do we cover it up if ukuthi when you are not ready to talk about it. I feel like she should have done that, but she didn't. There's a scene when the Zulu teacher calls Ueni. I don't know why she calls Ueni while she's on a trip. Maybe they were supposed to have a class, and then Ulasi stands up, Ayoma. I just go and because she's interested in acting, and is learning isiZulu. Angas guys noma ngizothi Ulasi sometimes she's fake, or I would say maybe she lets go of things easily because it was right after that talk yoguthi ene they want clarity with the petal, but now she was okay with any. Or she thought maybe because she had answered the question the way that she answered it, they would be satisfied, they will let the issue go. So she let the issue go too, and she was all happy with them. They were all laughing about Indaba Ukufunda Zulu and all of that. And I was looking at her like, girl, are you sure you're okay? These people just grilled you just now. Now you are okay with them. But anyway, maybe she thought that was the end of it, like they were not going to grill her some more, but she didn't know they were going to do it. And the next scene, it was I didn't understand which time of the day was it in the morning or bani, but Umabus had called Ula Choncho to her room, called the massage lady to come and do their thing, their foot massage, and she just said because she's going through a lot to Lassie, and she just wanted her to relax, and she knows she likes foot massages. Listen, guys, I really feel like Umabus is a good friend to Ulona, to is a good friend to Ulachongo. Sometimes with your friends, you just have to let go. Friend, with my friend, like I don't understand certain things about you, but you, my friend, listen. You'll tell me when you're ready to tell me. But I do at times suspect that Dumabus already knows the deal about Mr. Petal, but she's waiting for her friend because there is one interview she did. They wrote in the newspaper that she says even with Macele and Ulachong, she says she knows something happened between Ulachong and Nolasi, but she won't say it. They will talk about it when they are ready to talk about it, and apparently it's not what we are thinking. So yeah, so I think she is able to just let go of things just to be a friend to somebody. And then they talk about the issue that had come out the day before. Did you feel attacked when everybody was asking you those questions? And Ulasi says, no. She's like, no, I didn't feel attacked, but I don't understand the entitlement. Why are people entitled? The entitlement, which you want to know everything about my life, and you will not uh, be satisfied with the answers that I give to you. She goes on to say, even in the interview, you know what, even if I got married to somebody, I will not tell these ladies. I guess maybe would like to that's the way she lives her life. Like she lives her life as a mystery, and it's not making sense to the other women. They wanna know more. Uh, Nati, we wanna know more, Nati. But that's what she said. Even if she married somebody, and she wouldn't tell them. But at this point, I would understand why she wouldn't tell them because honestly, they're not very nice to her. And and then they called the meeting. Laxonxo does say ukuthi into emangaza about these ladies is that they have their own things and their own differences, and she accepts people the way that they are, but it looks to her that they won't accept her the way that she is, which I thought was a good point. And ulona Mabus advises that, why don't you just tell them you have a situationship so that they can understand, yes, it's a relationship, but it has its own complications, which makes it harder for you to be able to describe it to them. And yeah, but Ulachong doesn't make a decision on that. And then the next thing, the meeting, Ulondi London, nango futhi Ulondi, guys. Hey, Ulondi, and Londi is not a good friend. Londi was never a friend to Lachongo, honestly. She wasn't. She's the one Ulondi who calls a meeting. She calls a meeting with everybody to discuss Lachongo's relationship. She's not there to discuss her marriage. She's not discussing Umembe Sowaka. She's not discussing her music career. No, she wants to discuss Ulachong. So they go to a meeting, they discuss what would happen, she doesn't want to answer the questions that they have. And then they say that, so they say they're going to, because when Ulondi London was talking to Unongu, they had said that they think issue. These women sometimes as they are kids, they say issue ka nonko should be handled the same way that issue ka Lachongo should be handled the same way that they handled issue ka nonko. And I'm like, but girl, it didn't work for you, and you didn't like the way that they handled your issue. So now, why are you suggesting that they, you know? How is Nonko suggesting that they must handle a situation like they handled hers because she didn't like the way that they handled hers? I didn't understand that, but that's what they said at the thing. Ula also confused me because at some point she says her relationship with Ulona is not romantic. But I'm like, but how is hey, now you're confused about that. What's the relationship is not romantic with Ulokuzan Upetal? Which possibly might even mean ukuthi uPetal uyena uLokhuzana former president, maybe. And secrecy, and if we former president, then we understand ukuthi that's why she had to keep it a secret. And then they do like a rooftop event by UN. Umakhumalo come in there. We are watching amaphiko, you guys. Black with white maphiko. She was like nje vele ngoba ngiya rooftop ngizondisa. Bebe bahle nje bonke, and then because these women are not really friends, yeah, there was friendship betrayals in this scene as well. But she's not gonna take out her anger Eddie on the right people. She's gonna take it out on Numa Boots because you're gonna see how she does that. So then she and it's a nice event, whatever. She asked Ulondi to perform, and Ulondi performs. Yo, I was waiting for Ulondi's performance because I haven't heard the music. I must go and search for her music, you guys. But so she performs. George was like, how? Not so long ago you were not ready. Now you are ready. Oh, so her feelings are hurt because she's a spoiled brat. She doesn't understand how Ulondi can perform for any, but she didn't perform for her when she's the queen, when she's the richest or whatever. So then she performs Lokuzana, Ulondi London. But while she is because I was expecting something, you guys, I was expecting to be blown away. I know it wasn't the big crowd, and I don't understand because ufuna bookings are serious, and this was not a serious booking with Lokuzana Jojo. So she performs, she sings. I'm like, eh? Is that all? I was like, you know, like idols, they will have like the good ones, then they will have the wooden mic. It's like wooden mic against golden mic. I was like, hi man, le performance ngathi isondela ngaku wooden mic. What did you think about her singing, you guys? I was expecting something like, you know, like I don't know, like in voice edge. I was like, hi bo, is that all? She sings a gospel song. I don't remember the gospel song because I was busy laughing in that scene because I was thinking, how you made us wait just for this to perform. Afterward, there was a piano, a DJ that was. I don't know any guys that organizing. She's everything, but yabona lap. Yeah, but yeah, the performance Kalondi was underwhelming for me. And again, guys, because it wouldn't be a Real Housewives without them just spoiling the whole day. After they had this great day, they're just going to just spoil it because that's what they meant to do. Because the producers are like, but you can't just hire this event in the rooftop and just have a beautiful event here. You can't just have a beautiful event here. You must fight or something, you know? And then, oh yes, so now, Jojo did confront uloni ukuthi hawu so now you can perform, eh? But uyamsaba uLondi London, so akabanga like she is with uLokhuzana, with uMabusi. And uLondi is like, yeah, phela namhlanje I had something to, you know, to perform. And then okay, and then uJojo calls uNonku aside at that event to funi advice because he doesn't understand. She's friends with Ulondi, but Ulondi didn't perform at her event, but she's performing here. Ulo Nonku ke uyamduduza lapha and goes, no, your event ended up being beautiful. I don't think that it's a big deal. She even says go interview Ulona. Unonku she really doesn't think it's a big deal ukuthi Ulona azange perform. And then he's like, I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like you are enough to get fired right now from Real Housewives because you did something that you shouldn't have done. But you know, we are that day, Muchocho, you guys. We are that day, Muchocho. We are that day, man, Muchocho. And then, Londi London decides to call Umabusi to the side to discuss into Kalona. Kalasi. Uti and she wants to find out which side is Umabusi. I'm like, Auntie Kunama side. Oh, okay. Let's catch up. So then uyakhuluma ngayo yasho ukuthi hayi mina ngiya confused because ulasima ikhuluma ngole uza mention nama in-laws and all of that, but then here she doesn't want to tell us anything and whatever. And ulona umabusi said kwi-interview ukuthi she feels like ulachongo naye akekho sure about what's happening with this relationship and this lady should just let go. So uthi umabusi kulondi, mina I'm friends with ulona with ulachongo. Maybe she's not ready to talk about it, um and maybe girl, when you're not sure about the relationship now you don't know what to say, but I accept her as it is. If umuntu emngani wami, I accept them, just ngalokhu ngiba-prompter, so it doesn't work out because I think ulondi London, part of it was trying to get umabuti supi on their side, and umabuti was like, guys, I just think we should take it easy with Lokuzana, with Ulaisi, and I feel like this whole thing is not as big of a deal as you guys are making it to be. So uphoxekile kulondi ngoba manje she couldn't get another member to ulona to join against Lassie. I feel like Ulon London is a follower, honestly. She did that Nanku thing because the other ladies were talking about Lokuzana Puzaka Nanku. When she hadn't experienced it that much herself, now she's turning against her friend here. So I'm like looking at her side eye, Ulokuzan, Ulond. Okay. So they sit down because now they sit down, they dance, okay, DJ, kodwa kwamnandi, hayi nami ngafisa ukuthi ngabe ngisephathini. So after that they sit down again now to create content yangempela because there was just play. Now we are in Showmax. Let's show them the show. So they sit down just talking, they're having drinks, and yes, I rewinded, guys, to get a conversation about the questions that were asked in Ambiti. How did it come about? And I couldn't, if you know how that conversation came about. Ngizwe nje ulona sekufika ekuthenini umabusi athi, because they were phikisana ukuthi ubani obuze which question and how disrespectful the questions were. And umabusi, being as open as she is, sometimes like she's too open. She should have just left it. Umabusi says, no, guys, let me just tell you which questions I asked so that you guys know what my questions are related to you, which ones were mine, because I think all of them ask questions, like each cast member will ask a question about all of the cast members, and then they selected the questions. They just because Bonabaya Sabana, they probably asked very boring questions to each other. They asked very boring questions, and most of the questions that the producers ended up selecting as the questions to go to the game was probably imbuzo Mabusi, because Mabusi is not here to play. She's here to find out, are you a gold digger or not? You are going to talk about it today. So she was like, you know what, guys, just to be clear, let me read you all the questions that I asked so you know which questions I asked. Apparently, she had spoken to Sorisha and told her a certain question she had asked herself, because she says, Sorisha na uvumile ukuthi no, mina, you already told me which question. So she opens her phone, she asks the question. The question about the damages kanonku, that question was asked by her, and we already knew that because she confessed to Jojo. And she says, Sorisha, she had asked, would she marry her husband if her husband wasn't rich? We all want to know that. Would you marry Red if Red didn't have that much money? So, and then she also said, the next one was, she had asked George, would you date outside of your race? These are the questions that have been asked, guys. Have been asked, God Lula, but she was just clarifying, I'm the one that asked this question. In fact, she had gone to the people, Abaniga's big question, and said, listen, I'm the one that asked this question, Apparently, there were questions that we didn't get to see on the episode, but there were more questions that were asked, because this one, Jega Sorisha, we didn't know about it. So then, Ujojo loses it. How do you lose it? When the question was asked Enambit, you got mad about it. Then you came back, you summoned Umabusi to your mention. She comes to your mention. She's not very impressed with your mention. Wago gave her a mention. I asked these questions about you. I did not ask the question about. Come on, what was the question? Oh, Kelvin being old. I didn't ask that question, but this is the question I asked. Now all of a sudden, uJojo is like now usemed ukuthi ene it's very disrespectful what. Well, everyone is like how? Okay, you mad? For real? Oh, okay. I got like a content, you know? Got the content. Fine. Badlule lapho ke. And then Nonku says wants to talk about elephants. There's always elephants in the room. Pink elephants, red elephants, brown elephants. They are always in the room when these women are in the room. And Nonku uyangidida because she does the thing that was done to her that she didn't like the thing being done to her when she was asked about the alcohol thing. She didn't like it. They get her together almost like an intervention. She's doing that now with Lachong. She says she doesn't get to Lachongo. There's an elephant in the room. She doesn't get to Lachongo. She doesn't understand her. We are not let's Mr. Petalik Bona, and she always closes the discussion. It's valid points. But at this point, you guys, we already know that Lachongo is not going to answer any of these questions. So why waste the time? Why spoil your fun night? Ngale issue, you know? And I already said that she's my friend, and then she asked, "When at Jojo, do you have anything to say?" Because Pela, she's been waiting. Jojo has been digging, so she asked Jojo, "Do you have anything to say?" Jojo's like, "Why do you ask me?" She's like, "Because I heard because you're the one that has been digging," and then ulona comes in London naye ukhuluma ngama indaba yama in-laws no Lindy London. But I guess it's a good question because honestly if you are not romantically involved with Mr. Petal, why are you calling abantu bakubo in-laws? But maybe they, yeah, but why are they in-laws? Because you are not in a romantic relationship with him. So maybe she was talking about my in-laws akazuma. I don't know, you guys. But yes. And then Ulasi in the interview she says she feels like the group was not they're not willing to hear her. So what is the point of her explaining herself? She ends up walking out of the room, and then ulona umakhumalo says ukuthi vele I expected her to walk out of the room. Let me not say a lot because I think a lot about Ama comments show Makumala. I think a lot about them, but I've heard enough from Mama friends Gamakuma. Let me just leave them alone. Because I know deep down you see what she does. You see what she does. But anyway, I won't talk about her too much. And then Mabusi was trying to explain. I mean, this is your friend. First, I thought Mabusi just walk out with your friend, but I guess she wanted to stay at the party. And she also says, she was trying to explain what to you guys, I'm friends with Tulasi. But before she could say what she wanted to say, you know, because angazi befuna ubachazela ukuthi the man funa understand Ulasi, this is how you should understand them. And then ke hayibo hayi yasuka impi uJojo nje took offense talking over uMabusi. Umabusi is like, just keep quiet, let me finish what I'm saying. And Usorisha was saying the same, guys, let's hear Mabusi out. You want to know Lachongo is Mabusi's friend, and Mabusi doesn't seem to be bothered by indaba kaPetal. Isn't Mabusi the right person for us to listen to? Because I felt like I think the minute they realized Ulonu Mabusi wants to defend Lachongo, they didn't want to hear it. And they would have understood that situation better if they just listen a little bit, but they didn't want to listen. How go Jojo Nango say shut up, shut the F up, that labata lebash, shut the F up in how she goes back to the question you're asking me, disrespectful questions. It's like how Kathleen Boss is like my question namanj. So then Umabusi is like, you acting like a spoiled brat. She is acting like a spoiled brat, you guys. She is acting like a spoiled brat. George, there's no other way that I could just see. She's acting like a spoiled brat, and she's looking for somebody to take out i-anger yakhe yokuthi u-Annie betrayed her. So she's taking that out on Umabusi. She stands up, you guys. Stands up. Through what they said was water. I doubt George was drinking just water. Through And her black beautiful dress, Lona, Mabusi, throw it because she throws a drink and then she did a Will Smith. She did a Will Smith. She did. Oh, Will Smith walked on stage, slept to Chris Rock, and turned around. Like, guys, when you start a fight, you don't start a fight and walk out because they will kick you at the back. I would have stayed up ngivele ngibushaye ngehile emhlane mina wephansi ngiqede ngiwalk out ngihambe futhi angivela ngisiye permanent cast member ku-Real Housewives who cares. She throws it, and the way she's so arrogant, she throws a drink and walks out. She wouldn't have walked out of that room. Oh. So umabusi, in her attempts, because bekune glass and namanzi la, in her attempts to grab the glass, she falls. She falls on her knees. But to Jojo, she turns around. Masewile, she turns around. Uzomlokhuza umlahlela ngeglass. Yeah, it infuriated me that scene, you guys. But they get Umabusi up. She's angry. She's saying, okay, you can't do something like that to me and expect to say I'm not gonna do anything. I really think Jojo could have been injured kula event had Umabusi not fallen ingathi esusukuma ufuna ukuzidefend. So then ke bayababamba because Umabusi phela bese okay girl asiqede ke namhlanje inake le ndaba ngoba ngempela ayipheli indaba yakho nequestion ngoba vele you are married to an old guy. And also siyafuna ukwazi ukuthi uzomdate yini umuntu omnyama. What is the issue there? So she walks out and then she's outside, she's crying, and Uncle goes to George, kuyomduduza crying. The other ladies, Shembabambe, who was close, I think Umakumalo. But Umakumalo was concerned about her bag. She makes sure that she takes her bag, I move. About hey, my expensive bag is on Matalan. She moved the bag before she protected Umabos. Before she was stopping Umabos, she first took her bag. She doesn't want her bag. Hey, expensive bags. So then, Umabos, obviously, she was hit her. She's like, yo, she knows I can't hit her because if I hit her, I will end up being arrested. So what she did was rude. Everybody thinks, guys, I like it. They were honestly saying, I know, Jojo, you are wrong. Like, she said that even in the interview they said she acted like a child. Makumalo said, yeah, gona phela umabusi was heated, but as a sugume nje abe yimpisi because uJojo umthele ngamanzi, and that was wrong. And yeah, I think for all of them they were like, hey bo Jojo, kahle bo. But she's like, but she was also wrong. How can she ask me that question? She was also wrong. She was also wrong. And people are like, and I was like, I mean, but she's like, but I always stand by you. And it's like, yeah, but if I'm your friend and I do something wrong, you're supposed to tell me that I'm wrong. So I'm telling you right now that what you did right now is wrong. I think all of them were expressing the same thing, which no Church was wrong. I liked that, but I want there to be consequences for what she did, more than just them saying, Jojo, you were wrong. Because had it been Mabuse who did that, the consequences, consequences and all of that. But the fact that this scene was shot so long ago and we never heard anything about it tells me also there was no consequences to Jojo after that. Because tell umuntu ngamanzi guys or drink or whatever, it's an assault. Even because we posted a glass, whether it was empty or not, masebuye. So yeah. But I'm so over tears. And I commented to Jojo was just being childish and yeah. And spoiled. She was Jojo. Listen, I'm proud of him. Guys, it's not an easy thing. Like when somebody violates your space, it's hard to think like reasonably, like, and be like, listen, I'm on TV right now. This is a white girl, like we honest about that, guys, because whether assault or mlungu, that thing will be treated differently even when you go to court. We all know, we are South Africans, we know how unfair things can be. So the fact that she was able to think, let me not do something that I will regret like for the rest of my life, let me just walk out of here, no matter how hated she was. I don't understand why you would be angry that somebody's just asking a question. If you were single, would you date outside of your race? That's what's making Jojo mad. And she's not finding out who asked that question about Kelvin being old, because somebody asked that question and it wasn't Umabusi, but she's not interested because she is determined to make Umabusi the guilty part. Yeah, I'm over Jojo, you guys. Listen, for me, this scene was like the low of. For me, it was the low, the low point for me. Of course, it's the best content ever because we all want to see what happens with that scene and we want to see the aftermath of it. But I didn't like that happened to Lokuzana Mabusi. I wish it had happened to someone else, just as film slepe or something. But yes, no violence because we know there's consequences that comes with that. But what was the oh yes, guys, at this point because they decided to if she doesn't answer their questions, then they're going to cut her off. And they all agreed, and Ulokuzana, Ulondi London agrees, even Usorisha. Usorisha says, we are flip flop Usorisha Glen too. You are flip flopper. Yeah. So, yeah. But then I don't know what that means for Ifichagala Chongo when it comes to Real Housewives, because who is she going to shoot with, you know? And I think that might be if they want to bring her back, because I really think at the same time it's like I'm tired of Chongo's lies, but at the same time it's like Sizobuki Ilone Porai Futulachongo Mangeko. You know, she does really well. She's like really I like her interview sessions. Even the missed guys, we can say, but we do like not knowing whether Ulonukona no Mageko, whether it's the former president or not. So I think izoporisho mayengekula chongo partiga aside. At the same time, if in the history of housewives, if the cast members refuse to film with you, they do fire you because it becomes difficult to work with you. Like every time they want to do a scene with you, people don't want to shoot with you. Who are you going to shoot with? However, if they do bring new housewives in the next season, she might still come back because she will have other people to film with. Especially if Umabusi is there, she will film with Tulokuzana, with Umabusi. And probably they could force Umakumalo to film with her because Umakumalo is not able to say, listen, I don't like this person, I don't want to do anything with. She's always trying to be nice, so she can be easily produced, you know. So like Erika said about Tulon, like Erika said about Ugasel, guys who's watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, yeah, yeah. Anyway, she said Ugasel is easily produced. I think Nami Uma Kumalo can be easily produced. Bangabe ukuthi next season they're coming back. But that was my episode for today. Yo, if ubuke waze wafika la, you really are a star. Yes, you are a star. I'm giving you 10 stars right now. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. It's the Easter weekend, so I don't know how much I'll be able to come here with the videos. And yeah, of course, we are going to our parents' home to clean up after the storms. So have a good day today. Ginithanda kakhulu.